Hi everyone, I'm Taylor Farmer,
I'm Abby Angelette.
and we're going to talk all things Clemson.
So every couple of weeks we're going to check in and just kind of go over how Clemson sports have been doing. We have a big history of a winning behavior here at Clemson, and we just wanted to highlight that. So just to kind of start off, all sports are undefeated. Women's soccer, men's soccer, volleyball, football, and men's and women's cross country.
Speaking of women's soccer, you covered them last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did that go?
So the women's team beat Coastal 6-0 with Mariana Speckmeyer with 2 goals, and Renee Guion, who also had 4 assists for the game. The Tigers headed to Nebraska for a 2-game stint and won both of those games, and actually have a game on Friday against Oregon that goes off at 5 p.m. at Riggs Field. So some exciting stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of championship behavior, what's it looking like over in volleyball?
Volleyball's team this year has been really good. They won the Big Orange Bash this weekend here in Clemson against Wofford, Kennesaw State, and Georgia, winning 3-0 versus Georgia. They were down the first 2 sets, came back and won the 3rd set. Redshirt junior Kaylin Corti spoke on how a few years ago the team would have crumbled when they were down, but this year they came back and won the sets and did really well. Along with Kaylin Corti, Soleil Thomas, and Brooke Bailey were all named MVP of the all tournament for the Big Orange Bash.
Wow. So I know everyone's wondering just kind of what Clemson is going to look like football-wise this weekend. The Tigers had a little bit of a rough start in the first half of the game last week against Georgia Tech. A few interceptions, just not as clean as we normally have seen Clemson in the past. But speaking with the players this week, I think we're going to have a really awesome matchup on Saturday versus Texas A&M. So.
Yeah, Dabo spoke on the matchups against Texas A&M, and last year when they played them, they were up for a while, and then they just had guys just not in the right spot, defense not covering well. And when he spoke on the matchups this year, he spoke on how their quarterback is bigger, faster, stronger this year than he was last year, but so is Trevor Lawrence for us. And he spoke on Isaiah Simmons and how he's just a different player than he was last year. So those matchups will be different, but they'll be good.
Mm-hmm. I think it'll definitely be interesting to watch as well, just how this young defense, we have so many new guys on defense, just how they match up to Kellen Mond, because he had a really good first game for the Aggies, and it'll just be really interesting to see how they handle that challenge that's thrown their way on Saturday.
I agree. Well, I'm Taylor Farmer.
I'm Abby Angelette.
And this is the Clemson Insider, so keep up for all things Clemson sports.